Whoa! I just flashed a color aura on you two. Icy blues, brooding blacks and grays, and some explosive reds. You two must be out to put a serious hurtin' on someone.
As you might expect of an organization dedicated to the study of death and the end of things, they haven't spent a lot on decorating. But from the founder's wheelchair to the holographic demon apiary chamber to the Nike 12,000 computer, the equipment is state-of-the-art.
So then, you arrive unannounced. You have business, I'm certain. You may state it, but be brief.
My partner and I are private investigators. We're looking into the death of one of your employees, Adam Schönbrunn.
He was murdered by the scrub teams. He was in this very office before the dawn. That's when he liked to work. And a government death squad killed him.
What was a purported crime?
The scrub teams are not burdened by justification. Christie has lodged petitions on my behalf with the transgressor's office, demanding, as his employer, to know the charges. But nothing. They tell me nothing. Schönbrunn was a strange one. But then I guess anyone obsessed with the ultimate fate usually does appear, well, shall we say, intense. Or hard worker, though. Cross-disciplinary research, blending extra-numinal vision research. With Dante mapping.
Would that get him killed?
It might, I suppose, if the government knew of it. But until Adam's death, only the people working on it knew it existed.
Something else, then. Something not related to his work here.
Or then I would be unable to help. You see, I know very little about him. He was quiet, about his past. I don't believe he had a family.
He and Roach used to drink at a speak called the Interface. That's all I know about him. Doesn't pay to have D-bases of personal information that the hand can appropriate.
You see that we can be of little help. As with all my employees, there is a template of his nervous system on file with Resurrections Unlimited. I believe. Oh, is his body in preservation there, Christie?
It is. We have him on a 6-year retainer. The damage to his heart is more or less reparable. The mortal wound was to his brain, and Resurrections believes it's at least 6 years from treatment.
What is this? You're telling us that this Resurrections outfit brings people back from the dead?
Well, not yet. But they are working on it, huh? Important work, or illegal work. They are a chemical company, what is the word? As a front for the real business. They are located in Arlington, not far from here. Hell is my business. Should you learn anything of interest about the underworld, I should like to hear it.
I've reservations about cooperating with these two, Hercule. We don't know them from a blood gang. They could knock us, and then we'd have a first-hand look at hell.
I refuse to live in fear of being shot by the Hand's death squads. And I don't believe any more than you do that the government controls the underworld.
We're going to end up in prison, no doubt about it.
We have some questions about Adam Schonbrunn.
All I know about Adam is what's in his file. I make it a point not to enter into personal relationships with the research staff. Peculiar thing about him was that Hercule had never heard of him. A number of people said that they knew him, but no one had actually met him or spoken with him.
You weren't suspicious?
Of course we were suspicious, but we're an illegal operation. We have enough of our own secrets. If an employee has something to hide, that's his business. And like I said, people vouched for his work, and we could see he knew what he was doing. He was especially gifted at extracting topographic data from psychologic subtexts of narrative events.
You mean that he was rendering a map of hell based on books and movies with hell as a subject matter?
Subject matter doesn't need to be hell per se. Any story that reveals human understanding of evil, lust, death, hate, or venal sin reveals something about people's subconscious conceptions of hell.
Any idea why the Hand would want him dead?
Yes. Dante mapping's a capital offense. What do you think we do here, tell ghost stories? If the Hand knew he was a mapper, they'd eliminate him. That stuff about permits was just a cover in case you were with the heat, which is why I was hostile to you earlier. We could be next on their list.
A lone staffer eyes you indifferently.
About time you two showed up. It's been one long nightmare maintaining the stock with the backup computers. We have to get the main system up, or I can't guarantee that some of our clients' Essence files won't be corrupted.
Want to come again with that?
Aren't you two here to install the new motherboard on the DIL 3000?
Yeah. What else would we be here for?
Well, then get to it. The data storage chamber is through that door. Be careful. You have to deactivate the security system. But they would have told you how to do that when they ordered the motherboard. Sure, we'll be glad to have that system up and running.
You are under arrest in the name of the Hand. You will atone for your transgressions.
Goodbye, Gideon Ashanti. I take your youth and your sanity from you and lock it away. I leave your body to rot in stink and sweat, your mind to suffer in the grip of my power. Oh, I will see to it that you live a long life, a life spent mourning for what might have been. Peace, Gideon, and may the hand of God comfort you.
The place where Resurrections Inc. stores bodies for future reincarnation. In life, everyone seems like a unique individual, but in death, there is a numbing similarity to the draped figures in this room. Also known as the
This is even creepier than Charles.
I'm surprised at your revulsion, Rachel. Birthing units like this would have liberated women from childbearing.
I am programmed to respond to doubts you may have about the moral dilemmas some find inherent in my existence.
That won't be necessary, 5088. I don't think your pre-programmed arguments will persuade us.
I am a fecund 5088 birthing unit. I am designed to be a superior gestational unit. The fetal chamber is lined with a biocircuitry interweave to constantly monitor fetal respiration, heartbeat, and important growth factors. Options: available sensory throughputs to fetus, soothing sounds and music, comforting visual displays, direct projection of parents' voices into fetal chamber. DAT recordings playable to assist in subliminal environmental orientation.
Enough! Oh, God, this is making me sick.
I merely recite relevant facts pertaining to childbirth.
Simulating the reproductive experience. Not everything can be fabricated in a lab.
The existence of this unit proves otherwise. The essentials of the human reproductive events can and have been substantially improved by...
That's enough, 5088. I'm afraid my partner will pull your plug if you keep it up.
My self-diagnostic indicates intensive, decades-long neglect to primary mechanical units.
You can say that again. The hand put your creators out of business. I'll give them that much.
Meats or the hand's rule? Which one's the greater evil? Perverse mockeries of motherhood or tyrants ruling in the name of God? Some choice.
A man works feverishly amidst the desolation of the long-abandoned factory.
Oh, shit! You're the heat! I knew it! I'm gonna fry. Oh, shit! Look, I'm just a businessman, really. I don't know for morality or ethics. I'm just looking to turn a buck here.
Don't wet your pants, pal. We're ducking the big heater ourselves. Help us out, and we'll pretend we never saw this place.
All right, all right. What do you want to know? He's the reason I'm so jumpy. What happened to him? I figured the hands onto us. They got him while he was sitting in the barber's chair. Apparently his wife shrugged it off as God's will. She actually took comfort that he died as part of something big like a scrub cleanup.
No mystery why they wiped him. If he was poking through this tissue shop with you, he must have been up to his eyebrows in illegal tech. So you came here.
Figured this would be the last place anyone would look for me. I was just trying to score enough to make it overseas. I hooked with Jimmy because he knew the city, and because I liked his resume. He'd seen it all, hit it rich, and then lost everything when Mephisto revenged his losses in the commodities market by burning down the Chicago Exchange. Wiped out 3/4 of their records and a lot of fortunes that day.
Yeah, we heard about it.
Jimmy was always vague about his private life. He never wanted to talk about anything that happened more than 5 or 6 years ago. It was almost like those parts of his life didn't matter anymore. One time he opened up, told me about a brother of his who was a fighter for the Citizens Freedom Front.
Where do we find him?
You don't. Apparently he was killed in a CFF action a couple of years ago. That's all Jimmy ever said about it. I could tell. He took it hard. He said it was like part of him died when he lost his brother.
You say he died 2 years ago. You're certain he's dead?
His brother was pretty damn sure about it.
Anything else you can tell us about Henley? Anything peculiar?
Nothing, other than the fact that he was an outlaw. He did have a strange fixation on a Latin phrase, vocabulum est tabula, ominous venere ab genitor. Wore a chain around his neck with that phrase on it. I never figured that out.
Might seem like nothing now, but it could be important later. So what's the scam?
Black market for synthetic tissues is booming. All we need are some genetic data on the meat genome, some salvage from this place, and we can begin production of a commercial biomass.
You pig. Didn't the meat fiasco mean anything to you? You want to bring that back?
No. We aren't looking to grow meats. Too hard to smuggle on shore. We're looking to fabricate organs for the black market. Artificial skin grafts, that kind of stuff.
Mass-produced flesh for an illegal market. Makes flesh and blood just one more commodity. One more item for sale. One more replaceable product.
She's a beauty, huh? I'm going to smuggle her to Europe. There are collectors there that pay me a fortune for her. That's a near mint condition fecund 8088 birthing unit. Little old, but the tissue's in great shape. They had food stocks and concentrated vitamin compounds stored here. She was able to stay fed through all these years.
That turns my stomach.
Well, her value's entirely as a museum piece at this point. The gestational chamber, amniotic fluid recycler, fetal perceptual stimulator. You can't get parts for this stuff anymore. You're not turning me in, right? You gave me your word you wouldn't turn me in.
We gave you nothing. When we've taken care of our own business, we just might be back for you.
Hey, cut me a break, guys. I'm just trying to make an almost honest living.